This is Charles Douglas of the Humboldt Sentinel with a special report this 11th day of March 2011. As anyone who didn't sleep through the sirens in the Humboldt Bay Area already knows, local public safety agencies were on full alert this morning as the North Coast braced for a tsunami resulting from the 8.9 magnitude earthquake that struck just off the coast of Japan near the city of Sendai. It's difficult to overstate the power of this megaquake, the fifth largest in world seismological history, and the largest ever to strike Japan in modern history. This quake sent a 23-foot wall of water slamming against the Japanese coast, sweeping homes, factories, and people aside in its wake, causing massive devastation, including a fire at a petrochemical plant, and even jeopardizing containment at a nuclear power plant. The amount of radiation reached about 1,000 times the normal level in the control room of the #1 reactor of the Fukushima power plant, the Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency of Japan said today. Another report from Mark Crispin Miller suggests that radioactive vapor is being released from the plant in an effort to prevent an explosion, which may result from the failure of its cooling system. Thousands of residents in the vicinity of this Fukushima plant have been evacuated, according to a report posted just earlier today by commondreams.org. This earthquake was preceded by a series of large foreshocks over the last 2 days, beginning on March 9th with a magnitude 7.2 quake, about 40 kilometers from the one today, and continuing with a further 3 earthquakes greater than magnitude 6 on the same day. Over 123 aftershocks have already been recorded, and preliminary results suggest that this event may have literally moved the Earth's axis by an estimated 10 centimeters and moved the entire coast of Japan by 2.4 meters. Here in Humboldt County, the first wave surged across Highway 101 at Freshwater. The surge at Eureka's Small Boat Basin was reported at 5 feet, and apparently tossed some of the boats against each other. Onlookers gathered at the mouth of the Mad River to witness a small swell come ashore, but we were spared the worst of this disaster, as no damage or injuries were reported in Humboldt County, according to Chief Administrative Officer Philip Smith Haynes. I was actually speaking with him on the phone earlier today. He was manning the OES phone line at the county courthouse this afternoon. Humboldt County has, however, opened an emergency shelter at Redwood Acres in Myrtletown, and 6 evacuees were reported to be staying there earlier this afternoon. Returning to town this morning, I noticed a stream of vehicles heading up Highway 299, and Arcata Police Department roadblocks were in full effect at the F, G, and H Street intersections with Samoa Boulevard. Apparently, they evacuated the south of Samoa neighborhood as a precaution. Law enforcement also shut down westbound access to the Samoa Bridge, but these evacuation orders have since been lifted. Nonetheless, business as usual was definitely disrupted, with many businesses in Old Town Eureka closed today. I ran into Director of Public Works Tom Matson in Old Town this morning, and he said the county's emergency response system had swung into action before he even woke up this morning, with local beaches and coastal parks all rapidly sealed off by law enforcement, again with no reports of damage yet. Our neighbors to the north, however, were not so fortunate, with several fatalities reported in Delnor County, where the largest waves to hit the United States were recorded at Crescent City Harbor, topping 8 feet, crushing 35 boats, and the entire docking infrastructure basically wiped out. According to the report with Supervisor Mark Lovelace, the damage up there in Crescent City is pretty extensive, and the commercial fishing fleet was put out to sea late last night due to the warnings, and they're probably on their way here to Humboldt County because they literally cannot return home and dock. The Coast Guard has an active search and rescue mission underway to look for an individual who was swept out to sea also again in Delnor County at the mouth of the Klamath River. 2 others who were also swept out to sea were able to quote-unquote self-rescue. Further south, at least 20 boats were sunk, 100 were damaged, and $10 million worth of port infrastructure was wiped out at Santa Cruz Harbor. No reports of damage have come in yet from Mendocino or Sonoma counties, but the Associated Press is reporting that 4 people were swept off a beach north of Brookings, Oregon. 2 got out of the water on their own, and the others were rescued by law enforcement and fire officials there in Oregon. The Oregonian is also reporting that 70% of the commercial harbor basin at the port of Brookings has been destroyed. Well, that's all for now here at the Access Humboldt Media Center in Eureka. Local viewers should be sure to tune into Access Humboldt Channel 10 next Tuesday morning, March 15th, as CAO Smith Haynes, in my conversation with him earlier, has assured me that the local response to the tsunami warning will be on the agenda for discussion. While Philip assured me that the overall response went pretty well, he noted that there were some minor glitches with local residents and even some county staff either not receiving the tsunami warning in a timely manner or not being informed as where they should evacuate to. I'm going to leave you now with some clips collected from across YouTube. You'll see the manufacturer of the clips, the videographer, is listed in the lower right hand corner of your screen. And again, our thoughts are to the victims of this disaster. At least 160, probably more, dead out of Japan, and several from our own coast here on the North Coast, here in California. This is Charles Douglas from the Humboldt Sentinel, reminding you to stay prepared. If there's an evacuation like this again, you need to know where to go, and you need to have your supplies ready to leave at a moment's notice.